What's going on YouTube? My name is Anti-Problematic and today we're going to be doing a character guide on Hou Yi. Now before I get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to keep up with any future content, I'll be leaving a link to my Discord chat in the description below. Now there are two reasons why I wanted to do Hou Yi. For one, I realized I've been doing a lot of solo laners. And two, Hou Yi is my favorite hunter. He's usually one of my go-to hunters when I'm trying to be serious, and this character is a lot of fun and can be built a lot of different ways, so I figured I'll do a quick character guide on him. Now first things first, let's go ahead and go over his passives and abilities. Alright, so up first we'll actually be going over Hou Yi's second ability. This ability will actually change how his first, third, and fourth ability works, so that's why I'm going over it first. Now this move is called Mark of the Golden Crow. When enemies are marked with this ability, they will actually take extra damage for every 10% of their missing health from his abilities and his basic attacks. This will also mark them on the map for you and you only for 10 seconds. This does include Stealth God, so if you manage to get this, so if you manage to hit this on like a Loki or a Izanami or a Morgan, and then they go invisible, you'll still be able to see them for up to 10 seconds. This ability also buffs his, as I said before, his first, third, and fourth ability. Up next, we have Hou Yi's first ability, known as Ricochet. Hou Yi will fire a powerful shot that will ricochet off walls up to 2 times, and for each wall that it bounces off of, it will do bonus damage of up to 40% each. So it's a total of 80% bonus damage. This will also stun if they are marked with Golden Crow. As you can see, it is a straight line. This is a pretty difficult ability to hit, but as you can see, it will bounce off of walls, and can bounce up to 2 times, as you can see. And like I said before, if you do manage to get this, your Golden Crow, and hit your first ability, this will actually stun. Let me go ahead and show you here. As you can see, it only stuns for 1 second, but 1 second is more than enough. Up next, we actually have Hou Yi's third ability, is known as Dive Bomb. This is just his runaway move. This will actually do damage to a target location, and you can actually pick where it lands. Also, if they are marked with Golden Crow, it will actually do a knockback. Finally, we have Hou Yi's ultimate Sunbreaker. He will actually shoot 9 suns out of the sky, and they will do a 20% slow and damage over time. As you can see, it's a pretty large ult, and if they're marked with Golden Crow, the slow is actually increased by an additional 20%, making it a 40% slow. This ultimate hits very hard and is extremely hard to miss. Finally, we have Hou Yi's passive. His passive is actually very simple and straightforward. Hou Yi cannot be crit again after taking a critical hit for 3 seconds. In the current meta, this could actually work really well for you, simply because a lot more people are starting to build crit, and since Hou Yi can't be crit more than once every 3 seconds, it can help his survivability a lot. Now, as far as Hou Yi's best items go, he actually has several, simply because I've seen him be built several different ways. Me personally, I actually go for the crit build more often than not. So if you're looking for more of the crit build, as far as stacking items go, you can either go Transcendence or Devil's Gauntlet. If you want to go Devil's Gauntlet, that means you're usually trying to go for a little bit more survivability in your basic attacks. And if you're looking for more mana, because Hou Yi is mana hungry at the beginning, Transcendence is a really good item. Also, if you're going for the crit build, you need to have Rage and you need to have Deathbringer on. These 2 items are invaluable in that build. Also, if you're looking for more power, if you're looking for another power item, I would recommend just getting a Bloodforge or a Heartseeker. Bloodforge and Heartseeker gives 75 power, and Heartseeker will make your abilities hit even harder. And the health shield from Bloodforge always helps. As far as attack speed items go, I've actually been playing around with a few. You can either go Executioner and Quinsize, or me personally, I like to go Crusher, and I like to go Ichigo. This makes it extremely hard for the enemy hunter to really be able to fight you back, especially since he has a stun. You can get the stacks on Ichigo really fast. And finally, I would recommend building a Fail Knot for the extra power and the extra cooldowns. And if you don't know what Fail Not does, after you cast your ultimate ability, your next ability or basic attack within the next 8 seconds that damages an enemy god marks them, increasing the chance you and your allies can land a critical strike by 15% for 10 seconds. Basically, if you get ulted by Hou Yi and he can pick and choose who he wants to focus, and that person being bonus will take more crit damage. So this card, especially since it has 20% cooldowns, is very strong on Hou Yi. Now, as far as Hou Yi's game plan goes, you want to get this Mark of the Crow on as soon as possible. This does last for quite some time, so it doesn't hurt just to have this ability out. Also, I would recommend putting the mark on the person you think is going to be the most dangerous. That doesn't always mean the carry. That could mean the tank who's harassing you, because they'll take extra damage from being marked. Now, the combo usually goes, if you think you have the skill shots, all you have to do is mark and then instantly stun, and then it's basic attack right afterwards, and you'll almost always get the kill. Now, if you think you're struggling a little bit, something you can do is that you can mark and then leap to the location for the extra little knockback, and it'll actually help you confirm and hit your 1 a lot easier. And finally, if you have your ult up, something that I like to do is that you mark them, ult immediately, and then pop your first ability. This will ensure that they'll actually take full damage from your ultimate. Just be sure that your ultimate is cast when they are dead in the center of it. This will give you the most amount of time to be able to hit your Ricochet. Now, as far as the landing phase goes and what you start with, like I said, there are multiple different ways that you can build this character. If you want more cooldowns and to be able to spam your abilities, and you're not really worried about hitting your basics, or you have a hard time hitting your basics, Mage's Blessing into either tier 1 stacks of Transcendence or tier 1 for Devos works the most. Also, I would recommend just getting a few health potions and mana potions for obvious reasons. This character is actually pretty mana hungry. However, if you do feel confident in hitting your basic attacks, then I would always recommend going Hunter's Blessing. There's literally no point not to have Hunter's Blessing on him, because you will take an insane amount of damage once you hit level 2 with your Mark of the Golden Crow. Now, obviously, when you're in laning phase, you level up your first ability first. This is obviously your clear move, and it does the most damage. Now, as far as your second ability that you should level up, I level up his second ability, Mark of the Golden Crow, next, because they'll actually take more damage from your basics or your abilities if this move is leveled up more and they're marked by it. Your leap doesn't change as far as cooldowns. The only thing that really does change is the damage. However, if you're like me and you prefer to play a little bit safer, this having more damage on it doesn't really mean anything to you. And finally, one last thing I want to talk about with Hou Yi is his Ricochet. Don't feel too daunted about not being able to hit the back bounces or trying to get a skill shot with this ability. Oh god, I'm about to die. So don't be too worried about not being able to hit that off of the Ricochet. Simply because this character does a lot of damage with only hitting it just straight. I understand that it could be very frustrating and it is a skill shot to hit, but once you get used to the timing, you don't really need to rely on the Ricochet. The Ricochet is mostly for people hiding under tower and you're just trying to get that last bit of poke. And even then, it's almost unreliable to try to go for the Ricochet every time. So don't be too daunted about not being able to hit those. Overall, this character is very fun. In my opinion, he's probably one of the best hunters, top 5 easily, simply because he has an insane amount of damage. He is fairly safe except for Willets matchups. And he can change team fights with just his ult alone. On top of the fact that he has a stun as a hunter. Lots of hunters have maybe like a stun, or only a select few hunters have a stun or a root. So having one as somebody with a lot of range and basic attack based or ability based, depending on your preference, is very, very solid. On top of the fact that with this new meta, he can't be crit too often. So if you're looking for somebody with a little bit more skill, a little bit more flair to them, Hou Yi is definitely a great pick. As always, if you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to keep up with any future content, I'll be linking my Discord chat in the description below. And as always, stay safe and have fun out there.